Welcome back, everybody. In this video we're going to learn how to add vectors. Vector addition is an extremely important topic, and although its use may not seem as apparent in this particular video, it is indeed very important. Now if you consider vectors as being forces, you'll realize that in physics, when you're adding forces to find a resulting force, for example, it is a direct application of vector addition. So there are two laws that dictate vector addition. The first one is the triangle law, and the second one is the parallelogram law. So in the first law, the triangle law, it says that you take the tail of the head of the first vector and join it to the tail of the second vector, and the resulting vector goes from the tail of the first vector to the head of the second vector. Now I'll just write that out explicitly, just so that it's out there. So that is the tail, and that is the head. Okay, that's the head. All right, so let's take these two vectors and add them. So we've got our vector A, and we've got our vector B. Okay, I'll just use that there. And the resulting, actually you'll just go back and label them. That's vector A, that's vector B, and the resultant vector goes from the tail of the first vector to the head of the second, just like that. Okay, so now this green vector, the resultant vector, can be written as A plus B. Now let's consider the parallelogram law. The parallelogram law says that you simply join the two vectors from its tails, and then I'll just label that once again. All right, so you join the two vectors through their tails, and once you've got that done, the resultant vector, and actually this is a bit hard to describe in words, so I'll just draw it out, but you're essentially making a parallelogram, and you will take the tail of, we'll just do that there, you're taking the vector, the resultant vector's tail starts from the tail of the two interjoining vectors, and they meet at the opposite point. So the resultant vectors of the addition of P and Q yield this red vector, and it can be written as P plus Q. Now, once again, triangle law and the parallelogram law can be used interchangeably, so I could have used this method, the parallelogram method, on vectors A and B, and I could have used the triangle method on vectors P and Q. They would once again yield the same result. Now, the vector addition also satisfies the commutative law of addition. Now, we know that, let's change the color here, so we know that 4 plus 3 is equal to 3 plus 4. Both yield 7, right? So they both yield the same result, and we know that we can use, we can write 4 plus 3, and we can write 3 plus 4, and they would mean the same thing. So similarly, in vectors, you can use the commutative property. So you can have vector A plus vector B, and that would equal vector B plus vector A. Now that is all for vector addition that you have to know. Of course, in the coming videos, we're going to go a lot more in depth, and we're going to have several more concepts that are going to be based on these simple properties and laws. So once again, folks, I hope you enjoyed this video, and don't forget to subscribe, like, and comment. Thank you.